but we would like to have a number with that.
$1 million.
Okay, there you go, $1 million. Because what your financial independence might be different than mine, might be different than everyone else, right? So we have to define that, whatever that is. So the reason I put this picture on, this kid looked at a plane and thinking she's going to be a pilot. When we were young, we dreamed big dreams. When we grow up, many people tell us we can't do things. So we stop dreaming. We stop somewhere. We don't dream anymore, right? But you have to get back to dreaming. But as an adult, your dream must be reality as well. You gotta have a defined number for you to achieve it. Dreams without plan are just dreams. You have to put your plan. So let's take your $1 million. How long would you like to get there? That's planning. Give me an example of your answer. Not right or wrong, just an example.
Maybe like 3 years.
3 years. Okay, that's $333,000 a year that you must save. So let's say you're very frugal. You only spend $66,000 a year. You need to make $400,000 a year. Okay? Go backward. Is it 2% commission in Santa Clara? Yes? 2.5? Still? Okay, that's good. That's good. So that's around 30 million a year, right? Or 30 right? No, it's about 15 million. Sorry. 15 million a year will get you 400,000. Average $1 million each home. Right? Yes? No? Average? 15 homes. So you gotta sell 1.2 homes per month. That's how you plan it. You have to treat your business as a real estate agent as true business. You are making $400,000 a year, more than engineers, maybe more than doctors. And many of us never think about that. We think we're just real estate agent. No, you're very important. You're a realtor. Make sure you take pride in that. Make sure you think of yourself as a real estate business executive. That's who you are. You're not a realtor. That means you have to build your business. Is your plan in writing? Number one. That's $1 million. You have to write it down. How will I get there? So let me drill down a little bit further. To sell 1.2 homes, I need to have how many buyers come in before I can sell one home? Let's say your closing ratio is 33%. You need 3 buyers. Let's say you get 1 buyer every open house. That means you have to do 3 open houses per month. Right? So therefore, if I do 4, I'll be sure to meet my number. Okay? When I first started in sales, got out of college quite a while back. Graduated physics, scientist. I went to work for 6 months. I said, this is freaking boring, so I quit. Went to interview for a life insurance company. And my manager was manager now. He has a pen on his desk that with this thing, and I said, hey, you flip people up with 3 fingers? He said, no, 3 appointments a day will guarantee you to be successful. And back in those days, 100,000 was successful. So I didn't know anyone. I opened the white pages, started at 8 o'clock, started dialing until I get 3 appointments. Sometimes takes 30 minutes, sometimes 5 hours. There's no difference. Even when I know that when I show up, 2 will turn off the light and say, hey, we're not home. That's okay. That's a ratio. So that's the plan. Come on in. We have plenty of seats right on this side. Is it executable? So if you cannot do 4 open houses, follow that example, then it's not going to happen. You have to scale up or scale down, depends on what your plan is. And the last is quantifiable. As I use the numbers that we were going, it has to be scientifically proven. Meaning that if you have done 3 open houses consistently, you get 1 buyer, so forth, so forth. That is your template. You know what my formula is, by the way?
Tell us.
Every time I meet a whole bunch of people, I will end up doing business with 1 more, at least. So that's my quantifiable solution, right? So, what do you think of 2021? It's already passed. It's a golden year for real estate, right?
Fun.
Who didn't do well in 2021? Well, you may be new, so that's okay. Most of us did. Congratulations.
It was a fun year.
So I'm going to take a $400,000 as an example. Let's assume that you made $400,000 last year, which is wonderful. It's a great income, right? Do you know how you made that? If I ask you to replicate that, can you do it? How did the people come to you? Many agents I've asked, how did you make 10 sales? They couldn't answer. Oh, well, they come from Facebook, they come from referral. Do you know the numbers? That's lack of business planning. You must know where all the leads come from, how you got it, and what it cost to get it. Now, I'm being serious and funny at the same time. It cost me a shot of tequila to be able to stand up in front of you today. Right? He bought one, he insisted, but so that's being funny, of course, but you have to know what it takes to drive that lead in and how did you get the sales. Very important. If you don't have that, your 2022 and 23 won't look the same. Trust me, I can guarantee it. So what you need to do is go back last year, look at all transactions. If you don't know what happened to it, make the call. It was great. Thank you for using my service. I want to revisit with you. What made you decide to do business with me? If they say, hey, I just went to an open house and I decided to buy that house, well, that's you can't say anything about that, but they have to say, hey, you were good, you were easy to understand, whatever the reason. You write that down. Okay? You okay there? If you don't have the plan, for sure you're going to fail. Okay? So if there's anything that I can encourage you today, is to make sure you go home today and write down your plan of what 2023 is going to look like, because 2022 is already gone. Right? Every morning I wake up, my first 30 minutes, I plan for my day. Even though it's on my calendar, I still rehearse it. I rehearse that day. So planning is so important, down to the day, down to the hour. When I arrived here today, I had planned. That's part of the plan. So before we dive into the real things for this event, we got to know where the market's going. How do you feel about 2022 after our golden year?
She slowed down.
Good, okay, I'm glad. You got the right answer. A little bit update. Interest rate, beginning of the year, when it was roughly 3% or below, now it's 5.25%. It went up 2.25%, the fastest rise in interest rate in history that I can remember, and I've been in business 31 years.
And that's
Yes.
5.25 on excellent credit, right? Like
That is standard conforming, 647 loan amount, and excellent credit. Yes, that's correct. If you're doing jumbo loan and so forth, it's going to change. By the way, that's always the benchmark. Everyone talk about interest, that's the benchmark. Who's in stock market? Come on, don't be shy.
What should we
So
buy?
when NASDAQ was 16,500 last year, I said it will go down. Nobody listened. Some of my friends didn't listen, right? That's today. 30+%, and we predict it's going to be 40% before it stops. I got in Tesla a couple of weeks ago at 647. Today it was 639. So there you go. That's an example because you guys live here. You know Tesla, right? So therefore, it's important to know the market and realize what the market is. Now, I'm not having stock. I don't care. I didn't lose money. But the people who are in retirement or who people put in here, hopefully they'll take the money out to buy homes. Well, they can't do it anymore. So we have to understand the overall market, not just our real estate, which is great. We know about real estate. But people finance, it's not just real estate. It's about their income, it's about their savings, it's about their investments, right? So it's our job to understand that. So you need to follow this as well. Inflation, this is fun. So for those who came late, we're not doing raffles on gift cards anymore. Your gas tank to drive here. So make sure you put business cards in, okay? So interesting, right? Oh, this is not exactly accurate, but realtors, you drive a lot?
Yes.
Well, I know some of you drive Tesla here, but that means it costs you more to go to work now.
Yeah.
That means you gotta make more in a depressed market. Ironic, isn't it? Now, that's with realtors, that's with our business. And I think we can afford it, right? Most of us in this room make good money. But think about people that on a fixed income, 100,000 a year, pretty decent. Their savings was less than 5%. Average savings for Americans, less than 5%. So all this inflation eat up their savings. What does that mean to their housing? That means they cannot afford as high of a home anymore, right? It affects us. That's why you see the migration to outside of the areas. Gilroy's is booming, Tracy's booming, and so forth, because we can't afford San Jose. Remember this rule, 80-20? So the past couple of years, if you noticed around you, in your office so far, it's the 90-10 rule. 10% of people sell 90% of the business. So if you're not part of the 10%, I hate to tell you, you may not survive this cycle. That's why you're here, which I'm glad. We're going to share some resources that hopefully keep you in the 10%. And constantly have to improve your business for you to do that. Okay. And the number one thing that I would recommend to do after today, if you don't have one, is a mentor. Unless you're good, unless you're a mentor, you will need one. I have 5 mentors. Who's with Intero? Gino is one of my mentors. You guys know Gino, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta pick your mentors. Okay. I call my mentor at least once a week. I have 5 of them. Just to share some ideas. You know, in real estate, we're always proud of the brand that we carry. Intero, KW. Okay. So we're proud of that, right? The fact of the matter is, companies don't make you. Your mentor will. You can join Intero without a mentor. Guarantee you won't succeed as well as you have joined the same company with a mentor. Pick your mentor first. So whether you are with KW, without a mentor, again, look within your company for a mentor that you can join. Same company. If you believe in KW, by all means, switch within KW. But I'm going to say this part. I don't want to frown on this. You want to talk. You want to hear from Keith later, and I'll share with Keith. I think Keith's on the third speaker. Work habits, very important. We don't clock in 8 to 5, and we tend to think that we're self-employed, we're free from clock in, clock out, but unfortunately we're not. We're actually now required to work 365 days a year. I don't remember a day off, even though I can afford to take a year off. but you just can't. Our business doesn't allow us to take off. So it's very important you set your work habits so that you have a life. Very important, right? So pretend like you're at work. Even though you're at home, you have to pretend like you're at work. So a couple of things. Always prospect, prospect, prospect. We've been taught this many times. I don't know how many times we heard this in sales. Right? Any idea how much percent per day of your time you should prospect? One answer, please. Anyone? 50%. Oh, yes, I'll take the second one. 80%. 80%. What am I doing here today?
Prospect.
Me.
Yeah, you're prospect.
Prospecting. Thank you. Thank you. Time blocking. Extremely important. And you have to be disciplined with your time blocking. 6:30 to 8 o'clock by personal time. No one call I will pick up, except maybe Keith. Because he's VIP. So maybe 10. But you have to block out time, including time for yourself. 6:30 to 7, my personal time. Shower, whatever it is. Contemplating what the day is going to look like. Never fail. Including if I'm out at 2 a.m. the night before, still have to get up at 6:30, if that's what your time is. Never fail. The moment you fail, that tells you the next day you can do the same thing and it will repeat. Extremely important. Work efficiently. We all know this. Work smart instead of hard, right? But we don't do it. Because I know that from fact, because I see you guys send me emails, and they're different every time you send me. Your signature is different if it's on your computer than it is on your cell phone. It shouldn't be. You can program it, right? Now on your computer, you guys use Outlook? Anyone? Hopefully most of you do. You can set up 1,000 templates. If you already know you're sending clients the same thing, hey, check out this property. You send that 10 times a week. Why not make a template? And all you do is insert that property in the line. That's it, right? Your signature, everything's already done. Or appraisal order. Anything of that nature, put in a template. You guys asked me about loan programs. I'm not going to type it in again, right? It's already template. Boom, out. Let the system work for you. Set expectation with your clients. Very important. Way back in the 90s when the business was slow in Southern California when Don and Nicholas closed their doors, you guys might not remember that. Southern California real estate went like this. I didn't want to move. So I was driving to Phoenix every week to work, right? Remember the pager day? I had a pager on two sides, so none knew that I was both sides. But nowadays, I train my clients to understand that I travel. Hopefully you guys do, right? It doesn't matter. My work's still there. I just need my phone and my laptop. That's part of setting expectation. Your client knows that you are always available 365 days regardless of where you are. Or you say, I'm off. That's okay. Expectation is up to you. Calendar and schedule. Oh my God, realtors. I call and say, hey, can I see this home? Oh, great. What time? Who does that? I hope no one. Garrett. Do not do that. Set up a time. Somebody wants to see a home? Wonderful. My schedule is booked today, tomorrow at 10 a.m., or Wednesday at 3 p.m. Which time is good for you? Or give me another time. Always give them two choices and allow them to set the third choice. Never leave today, even if I'm dying. I don't have money for gas. I will not leave. Make sure that your clients doesn't feel that. VA, virtual assistant. I know some of you have VAs, virtual assistant. Yeah? Only two? All right, VAs is very popular in the Philippines, and they run about $6 an hour. and they can do virtually everything that you can do, including check your emails in the morning for all the junk and so forth. You probably get 20 junk emails, maybe only one important. That takes a lot of time. Maybe 200 in my case, right? You have to have a VA. Now, I graduated, of course, I don't have VAs anymore, I have full-time employees who talk about that, but you have to hire a VA. If you cannot afford to have one, you share with someone. Now, having said that, I will even encourage you to hire a full-time assistant here, and some of you should be able to share, and if you need to, we'll contribute to that, because that person can probably do some work for us here. So $500 each, 4 people, 2,000, hire, I don't know, 4 hours a day, something like that. Okay. You have to have that assistant to do things that are not worth your time to do. I'll pick one. Again, to you. What do you think your time's worth, Jimmy? Because you didn't ask the last question. You didn't answer the last question. What do you think your time's worth? Pick a number.
Say that again?
What is your time worth per hour?
Shit. We did that already. My about $300.
There you go. So you think $60 an hour is worth it to pay for you to make $300 an hour?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you have a good company that you recommend for virtual? Because I've always gotten, I have a part-time assistant, but I've wanted somebody who focuses more, like you're saying, cleaning up stuff and answering and checking. Do you have a company you recommend?
Most of these companies are out of the Philippines. I'll send you a couple. I don't personally use them anymore because I graduated to use the national employees, but we have connections, yes. Discipline, again, we talked about that. Make sure whatever you write down in your calendar, don't deviate. If you deviate your calendar first. Okay, you set up all your calendar, your friends go, hey, let's go have a drink. You forget everything, you cancel everything. No, you reschedule everything. Then you go. It's okay. Right? But nothing leaves your calendar, including taking a friend to have lunch or whatever that might be. So my discipline is I usually run during lunch. Okay. 12 to 1. So you want to eat lunch with me? After 1. I don't deviate. My health is everything. Right? So therefore, that's part of the discipline that you have to do. I'm sure we'll all agree, health is everything.
Yes, I agree.
All right, now let's go to the core thing, sales prospecting. There's a couple of areas of sales prospecting that you have to really understand. Okay? This is where marketing people are very talented at research and doing this. And real estate, we are not, unfortunately, because no one taught us this. Number one, awareness. What is awareness? Do people know what Tammy does for a living? Do they know what you do for a living? Awareness. You know Coke and Pepsi, right? You have to have awareness in order for people to come to you for business. Okay. Now, Keith Vaughan and I are not Coke or Pepsi, but I'm sure people in this area, or even California, know who we are. That's awareness, right? So once they're aware, you create attraction. So everyone knows that Keith is a realtor. No, I'm a loan officer. But what's special about us? Why are we not the same as everyone else here? As a matter of fact, there's 1.7 million licensees in the United States. What set us apart?
You know how to promote?
Thank you. So you have to make sure people are attracted to what you're doing. You have to pick a niche that will set you apart. As a realtor, what can you do as a niche? It's really hard, right? By the way, Mike, can you ask to bring in food? It's one, please. Sorry about that. It's supposed to bring in food at one. So, give you an example. Real estate. Can you specialize in multifamily? Yeah, absolutely. That sets you apart. Commercial? Well, commercial is pretty broad, but I could say warehouse, cannabis, gas station, hotel. That sets you apart. So people pay attention to what you do, right? Because you simply say I'm in real estate. Okay, great. Just in a few minutes, I'm going to stop so everyone grab their lunch and we'll resume case. We're going to work through this. Once they know what you do, you create interest by what you can do for them. Right? So I'm a loan officer. As you see some of my posts already, I closed a stated income program, no income needed. Okay, so someone in that situation, they call me. Or I closed this multi-family. Hello. It's not out of battery. Sorry. All right, can you hear me without?
Yes.
So you have to create that awareness and also let them know what you've done. If you close a warehouse or multifamily, showcase it. Right? If you want to specialize in multifamily, try to stay in that lane. Can't be mixed in multifamily, mobile homes, and all that. People just, they get confused. Give me an example again. I can do an FHA loan really well. You rarely see me promote that because it's not me. I don't want that kind of attraction. Once they like it, once they like and have an interest, hopefully it's a purchase. They buy from you, right? That's the ultimate goal. So we achieve the goal that we reach out to do. Guess what the last one is? So how many of you in Intero? You know why Berkshire Hathaway bought you? Or bought your company? So they can cross-sell everything else.
Yeah.
Right? Real estate agents can learn from insurance agents. Life insurance agents the best. Every year I get a call. Hey Joe, I'd like to come by and visit your family. You know why they come by? To see if I need more insurance. Right? Who has life insurance license here? Do you guys do that? Annual review. No one teach real estate to do that. So if you sold a home 5 years ago in this area, Santa Clara, right? $1 million. What do you think it's worth today? $2 million. Yeah? So that's sitting on $1 million equity. You didn't visit them. You could have visited them 2 years ago. Get some cash out and buy 2 or 3 more. We failed in real estate. You have to make sure you come back every year, otherwise they'll forget you. Create that calendar. I would even suggest semi-annual. I think annual is too long because their friends and family is going to come before you. All right, prospecting. There's 2 ways. Traditional has been door knocking, mailers, you name it, telephone calls. I've done all that. I've done this. I dial hundreds a day. No problem with that. New social media and so forth. We all know about this side, right? But we're not doing it. We have some experts to talk about that today. So, you got to do all of it. There's nothing that you shouldn't do. But the reason why you do a telephone call is you can do 100 telephone calls in a matter of 30 minutes versus 100 door knocking. It take you a long time. That's kind of the same from here to here. You can get out to 1,000 people at once. Okay? So you want to be a little bit more heavy on this side because it's more efficient. We got to work efficient. One of my posts, I can reach probably half this room randomly. But if I call you, only one. So before you start to do your marketing, the first question is, what sets you apart, which I've asked earlier. Pick your lane, pick your specialty. What is it that you do? You can be a neighborhood specialty, you can be a product specialty, right? But you have to pick your specialization. Again, pounding this. Think about this tonight. How does your client think about you? I go throughout California or throughout the U.S. Anyone who has trouble about finances, they call Joe. I don't know if I like that name or that knowledge, but it's a brand that I created, right? So again, you have to create that so people remember.
let's say Paige does Santa Clara, and you specialize in luxury condos. Somehow people have to memorize or remember that. Luxury condo, here, I gotta call Paige. This one, funny, but Eric's gonna cover this, so I'm gonna go a little bit easy on this one. Who knows you're in the business? I have so many agents, online and offline, saying, my cousin just bought but didn't call me. You ever open in the Facebook in the morning and you see that complaint? All the time, every day. Because you never told them to. So who carried business cards? Hopefully everyone, right? So last time I made this, I asked this, somebody was bald. Who does hair? Who go to haircuts? Most of us I hope, right? Unless you're bald. You ever hand out your business card to your stylist? Hey, I'm in real estate. If you have any referral, I would really appreciate it. If you go there every week, every 2 weeks, why not ask a referral back? Joke. Oh, thank you. You couldn't hear me?
Hello? So, again, we don't do that because we're shy, right? We're super shy. I go to like a pho restaurant like every week. I said, you know what? This guy should give me some business back. I said, hey, next time you think about buying a new house, remember me. I finance people like you. He said, what do you mean? You don't claim a lot of things in your taxes, right? I said, yeah, how you know? Because that's my business. So seriously, you have to ask the people that you use for referrals. And we use them every day. Car, hair, nails, restaurant, anywhere that you go more than once. And nowadays with Yelp, I love it. Because I've been giving positive feedback, they better give the same to me. So use Yelp, by the way. If you're not helping Yelp, you can't help us because that's not our business. But I give good feedback to the people, they remember me. Definitely have to add that. All right, now the question was, who are you? When it comes to branding, you have to create a brand. Coke, Pepsi spent millions of dollars to create a brand. From fonts, from colors, logo, you name it. You have to create it. Now, we're in real estate, how do we create it? Right? Well, someone's going to speak to you. Keith Vaughn has one group with his logo. We all should have our logo because we are our brand. Okay. So this one is really important for you. That's your signature. People have to remember you. Okay? From the colors to the fonts. And H. Wynn, for example, I remember your logo. It's really nice. Everything you put out is high quality. Right? I don't buy real estate, but I pay attention to that. I remember that. Very important, you gotta pay attention to what you put out there. Some branding tips. Loyal to yourself. We talked before, right? And Carol's great, I love Carol. Gino's a good friend of mine. But people don't come to buy from Tammy because she's with Carol, because she's Tammy, she's a good real estate agent. People don't come to Paige to buy, right? So in the branding, make sure you highlight yourself. Okay. Now I'm sure you know this, when you go to open house signs and so forth, your name is more transparent than your company. That's pretty typical to the real estate business. And that's what it is, that's what it means. Product or specialty, what sets you apart? Number 3, this is very important. I get different names in 5 different places. Your Facebook's different, your LinkedIn's different, your Instagram's different, your signature's different. And sometimes people get married, they don't change their name. So they're Julie Fan, right, whatever, married to Julie Smith. Bottom, Julie Smith. Signatures, the emails to Julie Fan. Confused. Has to be the same. Has to be the same everywhere that you have your name out there. And last but not least, simple to remember. try this, Santa Clara New Home Specialist at gmail.com. That's pretty hard. That's pretty hard. They're gonna mistype it too. So make sure, keep it simple. Now, way before all the emails and so forth, we only had Yahoo and Hotmail. I just use JLAM, because it runs out, right? I just add 9, runs out, 00, and then I came up with JLAM 9000 at Yahoo. And I picked the same for Gmail. Very simple. Because you're on the phone telling people, you want to make sure that they don't forget, send to the wrong person. Teams, I'm going to glaze through this because Keith's going to cover this. But really quick, we talk about virtual assistant. Okay. You know, the whole point of us here, the whole point of Keith building team, the whole point of me giving you some tips is to allow you to buy back some time. Time is very precious. Time is one commodity that we cannot buy, right? What we do is we buy back the time that we normally would have spent to do our work. So you have more time with family, more time to do the things that you want, right? So very important. I believe in having team members that I pay. I call those employees. Now, of course, we have teams, but we also have to have employees. So VA is your first step into having that person, right? Because without my employees, I can't be here with you today. My deals won't be closing. You'll be mad. So VAs would be first step in doing that. But we'll save this for a key. Online presence. Let me ask you a question. Who believes in real estate? Who bought, own, or wish to buy real estate today? We all do. Come on, we're in real estate. People, come on. We're in real estate, right? So we talked Santa Clara last year. 5 years ago, you bought it for $1 million. Now it's worth $2 million. The reason why we buy real estate is appreciate, right? Great. You heard of digital real estate? Digital real estate can multiply at a greater pace than actual real estate. That is your URL, your domain name, your Facebook account, your Instagram account, TikTok account. All of those has value. I'm going to give you an example of one agent who's on his second year, and he does YouTube just for fun. At first, he just for fun because he thought it was just something people wanted to see. So put on, just looking at homes, and he, it's not dressed up like he looking good and all that. It's just casual. Sometimes we wear the cap backward, and he started putting on YouTube. So at first, he was getting buyers from it, which is great, right? That's the whole point. We all want buyers. But eventually, he started getting 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 views, and he started getting checks from YouTube, a couple $100 a month. Not a lot, but over time that grows, right? If you don't have a domain name today, go buy it. Hopefully they have page.com. There you go. Perfect, there you go. So all the successful realtors has their own domain name. You build value. People remember. Over time they'll come to that, right? I'm sure we all love Intero. You work at Intero. But you might not retire at Intero. Same thing with KW. There's nothing wrong with that. In real estate, people move. But if it's your name, you can't move. That's belong to you, right? So make sure you invest in that, okay? Email address, page@pagewin.com. Belongs to you forever. That's values right there, right? People are gonna look for you 10 years later. My phone number hasn't changed for 20 years. People look for me there. That's value. Okay? So digital real estate is the key. My Facebook today, if you do not believe in online, I'm getting typically 3 to 4 referrals a day. I get one loan from 3 to 4 because we calculate it. Okay? And assuming we only make $5,000 a loan, when you do the math on that, it's worth over $1 million a year. So if I decide to not be in the loan business anymore, you think I can sell that page back? Possibly, right? That's the value that you're not using. So definitely build your online presence. Digital real estate has a couple of things. Definitely the domain name is important. You can use your name, such as Page, or use your specialty. Investor warehouse, for example. You want to specialize in warehouse. Cannabis. Again, you want to do cannabis, for example. Cannabis now they're growing in warehouse, by the way. You say cannabis warehouse. So things of that nature will get you a high rating because obviously everybody's looking for that. And you have to be consistent because you have your web page and you don't promote it. What's the point? Right? Has to be consistent. Social media, this is very important. You know, your Facebook is like your yard, your front yard. You wouldn't want to park old cars there, right? You want to park nice cars. So it's our job to filter friends every day or every week. If they're not relevant, if they say the wrong things. I have friends that I didn't know, but they're at 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. I'm fucking drunk. Gone, delete. Fighting with spouse, gone. You know, it's not relevant. Even realtors, if they have no activity. I have realtors that all they post are dogs, walking dogs. Great, you don't sell houses. Delete, sorry. Love it, love you, but you're not contributing my, success. So definitely be very cautious, or be conscious rather, because you'll have 5,000 friends. That's it. Make sure they count. Okay. Offline. Encourage you to do both online, of course, but they have to meet you in person. I'm here in person. I'm sure you guys know me from online, but I always go out, meet people, do my best. Paige run an organization here, VNAR. Would encourage you to get involved with her. You definitely go out, connect with people. You learn the trade, you learn what they do. Maybe you can learn something. What I don't recommend if you are going to the trade groups, like CAR and NAR and so forth, you just go there for information. You go back because they don't typically send you referral. The smaller trade groups like VNAR, ARIA, NAR reps, they're a little bit more tight-knit where they actually develop referrals and so forth. So there are certain trade groups that I recommend, certain trade groups I don't. Now, having said that, if you were to work in warehouses, you want to go to their trade group organization. If you want to work with retirees, you go to retirees. You go to play, bingo. A lot of retired people, come on. There's 10,000 retirees every day. But anyway, find the trade organization. Now, let me give you a trick here. I don't know if you have that much here, but I have an agent that second year now doing 15 million, and she's in San Antonio. That's a lot of homes, guys. So when I interviewed her, what she was doing so forth, she said she came from nail business, right? I said, how big is the nail business here? And she just told me. I said, okay, 90% of your time is going to spend with them. And she went from 4.9 million first year to 15 million second year, all from nail people. So you pick that trade organization that you would like to work with, that you had some success with, and you concentrate, right? They have events, they have whatever it is. You go to, function. They have a lot of nail function, for example. Restaurant could be one. You pick those trade organizations. Okay? Those are going to give you a lot of business. CPAs, they have it. Attorneys. Don't go to CAR and ARM and just go get information, go back. That's it. So I'm going to finish up this. When I started my career in sales, my mentor said, follow a gold truck, you may pick up a nugget. Follow a manure truck, you may step on shit. And I remember that for the rest of my sales career. So my sales career has been following people that are better than me. Better than me. Without a doubt, I think you guys know Gino. I think I'm just mentioning his name twice. Very powerful man. I followed the likes of Gino. Right? So definitely remember this and practice it and find your mentor. With that, I'd like to introduce our next, well, I think we should grab lunch. Let's stop for 5 minutes and grab lunch, and we'll get the next speaker on.